Good morning, my friends. Dobro jutro to you. Charles here. Just woke up a little bit ago on a Saturday, a slightly chilly Saturday here for May 6th. And May 6th, if you're from Serbia, you know any Serbians, you know any Orthodox folks from this area, you know today is Đurđevdan. Sveti Đorđe, Saint George, the guy who kills the dragon. So if you don't know, when you see all these big icons in Serbian churches and Serbian things, you see the guy with the big spear that's killing the dragon? That is George. Saint George killed the dragon. So today is a Slava. Slava's a patron saint day where Serbian family members get together and have their celebration of their saint in their home. And I was invited to a few, but I'm not going to any, man. This is my last chance here in Serbia to clean up my apartment, to get all my things packed. I've been in this apartment for 3 years. So I got my summer clothes, my winter clothes, and all that little bullshit. You wouldn't believe how many bottles of rakia and whiskey and things I have in here. Because people love to give that to me, and I enjoy getting it. I would love to bring it all back to the United States of America, but we can only bring 1 liter duty-free into the United States. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to sneak some, just to get 3 or 4 bottles back home. Maybe 1 for the summer in Nantucket, and the rest of it give to my friends and family back home when I have parties with some of my friends. And I don't know, we'll go. So I've only got 16 days left here in Serbia, so the countdown has begun, but I gotta be out of this apartment by the 22nd. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw a bunch of stuff away, I think. I've got some decent clothes that I never wear because maybe because I gained a little bit of weight or something, I don't know. But I could donate that, I guess, to one of the secondhand shops or something. I don't know. But I got to get rid of the other stuff. One of my friends is William. He's going to let me store like a couple boxes of stuff at his house for my winter stuff and just my kitchen stuff and stuff like that. Man, when you're getting ready to move somewhere, you always find out you have way more shit than you ever dreamed, And I'm not a hoarder. I like to watch that show, Hoarders, and sometimes in my house, I think I'm got hoarding tendencies because I look at some of these clothes that I can't wear and I think, fuck, I can't throw them away. Don't throw them away, But anyway, Srećna Slava svima. If it's your Slava today, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day with your family and friends. But that's not the reason I'm talking to you today. I'm coming to you from my ghetto apartment here in the least racist country in Europe. Whew! Let me say it again. I'm coming to you from the least racist country in Europe. According to a Harvard study, Harvard University did a study from 2005 to 2015. And what they did, they just gathered folks from all these different countries, or they had somebody in these countries, I don't know, but they just would randomly have pictures of white and black, and they tried to draw out if people have a tendency to associate black folks with something and white folks with something positive and black folks with something not so positive. Something similar to that, okay? And they found out that this country right here, the country that's branded all over the world as being racist, as being a bad place with people that hate everybody that's not Pravoslavny folks, Orthodox people, they found out that this was the country that scored the least racist tendencies. Can you believe it? Serbia and Slovenia. The most racist country that in this little survey, don't know how valid this survey is, but if Harvard University does it from 2005 to 2015, we've got to give it some credit because they know what they're doing. They're smart folks and they make a lot of money. But the most racist country turned out to be in this, with the greatest bias, we should say, against black people, was Czech Republic, Ukraine, Belarus, Latvia, Italy, and Bulgaria and Portugal. They scored the highest on there. So Serbia was the brightest blue color on this map that I'm going to show you, showing the least bias against black folks. Isn't that something? How many days ago or months ago has it been since we've seen some article in a paper that talked about racism in Serbia in the soccer matches and shit like that? And that just burns my ass. When you judge, I've said this over and over, but I'm going to say it again. When you judge a country by some of the swears that some football fan says on the football during a football game. I mean, oh my God, I'm saying football. You can tell I've been in Europe too long. During a soccer game, you judge a country's racial biases on a football fan who's drunk probably, who's screaming, who's passionate about his team, and then it's all in the England newspaper. Oh, in the U20 soccer match, a Serbian person called a black person something, and the whole country's racist as fuck, and they're backwards and all this bullshit. Okay, fuck you, England. Harvard University is, I consider their research a little bit more impressive, a little bit more, to hold a little bit more clout than an English newspaper, okay? So anyway, isn't that something? You know, and I've said that for a long time, that I didn't think there was a problem with racism. Lots of black folks, African folks from all over will message me after watching my videos and talk about coming here, want to come here, and ask me how it is. You know, I had one guy, he commented on a video. There's a video, you've probably seen it. It's called Talking to My Black Friend About Serbia, something like that. I forget even the name of it now. But anyway, I interviewed that gentleman. His family's from Liberia, but he grew up in Norway. And I interviewed him about that, and some guy commented on it. He said, hey, he said, I'm a black guy who came to Serbia to play American football, and he said, there's less racism here than there is in the USA. He said, in the USA, I get treated and called names in different places. Here, nothing. Same with the black girl, beautiful black girl that comes here from Louisiana. She said the same thing. There's a lady here from Massachusetts that lives in a little Serbian village with her husband and 3 little African-American kids. No problems. This Irish gal I'm going to show you that I wrote about in my blog, I interviewed her, and she made a beautiful video about her time in Serbia. David Kayumbi, he's a Kenyan that studies here. He speaks Serbian. He studies medicine in his 5th year in Belgrade. Really good friend of mine. He speaks Serbian. He friends with Serbians. No problems here. But the whole world just continues to find some little goddamn thing that they can blame Serbia and make Serbia irrelevant and make Serbia the to discredit this whole country. It seems like constantly we see that, you know, and it's so unfortunate. And I don't know why it's that way, but it just is, man. But anyway, least racist country. We're in the least racist country on Đurđevdan. And I don't know if I told you this. Speaking of it, see, I don't know if I mentioned this in a video. You know, my parents, my father in particular, he's very big into genealogy. He loves it. He has our family history traced back to before the United States, honestly. And on his side of the family, we were Cherokee Indian. And he did a, what do you call it, a DNA testing. There's some company in the USA you can send in, I forget even what you send in, I don't know. Maybe you send in hair, I don't know, something. You send in something into this company. Oh, you do a swab in your mouth, I believe is what it is. Yeah, surely you would send in blood. You do a swab, like with a Q-tip. Swab the inside of the dead skin cells in your cheek, and you send it into this company, and they do like a DNA testing. And it shows where your ancestors, all of your DNA material, background comes from, whatever. I'm not a geneticist. I don't know how to even explain it in words. But we had, and Dad couldn't believe it. I got a message, an email the day that he got the results in. He said, man, you'll never believe where we have some roots from. And it was Senegal. Senegal came up in my family DNA, in my father's side, in our DNA. Something from Senegal. You know, they say many, many, many years ago in the USA that when we had slavery, and that's another thing about the United States, we like to go around and say, oh, look at Serbia, they're racist. And England also. And we're the ones that were tearing families apart, killing these people, forcing these people to build our free country that we're in, you know? But anyway, off that topic, but they say many, many years ago when the slaves were there, lots of the slaves and lots of the Indians would get together, you know? So maybe that's how that happened in my family. I don't know. But my mom's side, my dad has it traced back to Wales and to one of the people that came over on the Mayflower to first settle the USA. Abraham Lincoln is a far-off cousin of mine, so I've got some important DNA, man. That's how you get this sexy thing here, huh? Anyway, my friends, that's it. Least racist country. Proud of you, Serbia. I knew it. I knew the people were good, and I knew the media was full of shit. Doviđenja. Okay, I said Doviđenja, but I wanted to show this to you, okay? Let's see the name of the article. Wanna? Map of the most racist countries in Europe. And this is from Indy 100. It's called, I don't know what that is. But anyway, it's a Harvard survey, and it's been in many of the European papers too. But if you will look, the blue is the least racist, they claim. Okay, and the dark is the most racist. Serbia, if we'll see down here in the article. The study ran from 2002 to 2015. Social Attitudes by Harvard University has mapped the countries in Europe with the highest incidence of racial bias. Okay, we're not going to read this whole entire thing. You can look into the description, and I'll put it in there just for the heck of it. Okay, racial bias. The Implicit Project test studied the positive and negative terms that Europeans associate or are slow to associate with black people. Look, least biased countries in Europe. Scores ranged from between 0.298 for participants from Serbia, can you see it? And 0.55 for those from the Czech Republic. So Serbia dominated, baby. Here's the one in Serbian language. This was in Mondo. It says, ko su najveći rasista u Evropi oh my God, that's a tough one, isn't it? Iznenadičevete se. Oh, that's a tough one. Who's the most racist country in Europe? I didn't know that word. That's a tough one, man. But anyway, it's in that paper. This young lady, this is a blog post I wrote about. This is really nice. If you get a chance, go to my blog, serbiathroughamericanieyes.wordpress.com. Irish gal tells her summer in Serbia. She's probably not originally from Ireland, but she lives in Ireland, and I'm an American. So when you get citizenship in a country, you're typically that way. That's what I call you. And that differs here in the Balkans. But anyway, wonderful, beautiful woman. She came here. Nice lady. She messaged me before she came, and then I met her when she was here, and then she wrote to me afterwards and told about her amazing experience in Serbia. There's me, her, and her Serbian. I did a little interview you can read, and then she put at the bottom of it, there's a video she did about Serbia, and it's the link of it's in there. Oh my God, she did a great job with it, you know. And another good guy, this guy here, David, add him on Facebook, such a good guy. Tell him you heard about him from me. He, in this video here, he speaks Serbian so well. He's a very religious young man, and he does something in some church here, I forget the name of the church that he's affiliated with, some African, oh my God, I'm sounding racist. I don't know what it is, but I can't remember the name of the church. It's popular in Africa. He's from Kenya. Oh, Jesus. Now we see the map of the most racist people in Serbia is going to pop up on me. But anyway, watch it. David, love you, buddy. Anyway, we're in the least racist country ever. Love you. Bye-bye.